Welcome to Horror News Radio for February 13th, 2024. Join us for Horror Movies News of the Week. This week we have Predator, Late Night with the Devil, and Super Bowl 2024 movie trailers. All that and more coming up next. Hello. Once again, I am your host, Doc Rotten, and this is HNR, the official Gruesome Magazine horror news podcast. Back with me again this week are the scariest, goriest, bloodiest co-hosts on the net, and that means for here, Dave Dreyer, lead news writer, Gruesome Magazine. Dave, how you doing, bud?
Hey-o, I'm good. How are you, Doc? We got a lot to talk about tonight.
We got a lot. We knew it was going to be a big week, so we got a lot to shove in, so bear with us. We're going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. But before we get to the things from the Super Bowl, which we promised last week, let's talk about a couple of other trailers that slipped through our wings. You've got the first one, sir.
I get the first one. I am up first, and this is the new one from Osgood Perkins. They've been giving us these little cryptic little tidbits, right, Doc, here and there.
Yes,
we finally got the full trailer for Long Legs, which stars Nicolas Cage, and I can't say her first name, Monroe. Was it Maika?
Maika. We'll go with that. Maika Monroe, yes.
Maika Monroe. Great. I like this. It's weird and funky and doesn't make a lot of sense, but I think that's okay. What do you think?
It doesn't make any sense. The sound design is awesome. This has become one of my more anticipated movies of the year. It's coming our way July 12th. Osgood Perkins has got a pretty good stretch of films behind him, and he's just one film away from breaking through to the mainstream. And this film could be it.
Could be it. Yeah, I mean, love him or hate him, you have to admit he's interesting. You can't take that away from him. So I'm looking forward to this one. I really am. The more of it they give us, the more I want to see.
Yeah, of course, Nick Cage as a serial killer. Come on, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Art imitating life, possibly. Huh?
All right.
Maybe?
No, not at all. All right. One of the movies that came out in the recent past that we really liked was a film that should have went to theaters, but it debuted on Hulu, and that was Prey, which turned out to be a Predator film from Dan Trachtenberg. News came out today, Dave. Are you ready for more Predator movies?
Yeah, I am, especially Dan Trachtenberg Predator movies. I like what he did with it.
Yeah, well, that's what he's going to do. He's returning with the title of this one's called Badlands. You can only imagine what that's going to be about. Not much is known at this point, other than the fact that he is writing and directing it. He's co-writing it with his partner and then directing it. And Badlands sounds Western to me.
It could be. You might be onto something. I think what we do know is it's not going to be a sequel to Prey.
No, not direct.
So,
no.
Yeah. So we do know that. That's about the only thing we do know.
Yeah, I mean, Badlands could be anywhere, right? It could be Vikings. Could be.
Could just be in North Dakota. Isn't that where the Badlands are?
Oh, could be in North Dakota. Could be. Oh my goodness, just straight out the Badlands. But regardless, I think this one's actually gearing toward a theatrical release. I wonder if they'll like release Prey out the theaters like 1 week before. That would be
that'd be interesting. Prey should have been in the theaters. It was worthy. Yes.
There was a couple films last year that ended up on streaming that should have been, but Prey was high on that list. But I like this news. Are you excited?
I am. Yeah. Like I said, Predator, good. Trachtenberg, good. Good.
All right. There's another trailer that hit before we got to the Super Bowl ones. What was that?
Yeah, this is coming to us from IFC Films, which always seem to give us some pretty good films. This is from writer-director Cameron. Oh, I should have looked at this name before. Cairnes and Olin Cairnes. And it's Late Night with the Devil. And this looks great. I just watched the trailer before we recorded this, and I love the look of this. It's got a 70s vibe, and it's got the trailer's got 70s trailer dude talking.
He's got this trailer voice.
In a world gone mad. That guy's on there. You gave me all the hard names. The cast is David. Okay, how do you say it, Doc?
Dastmalchian.
Laura Golden, and Ian Bliss. If you don't know who David Dastmalchian is by the name, as soon as you see the trailer, you'll know who he is.
Oh yeah, you've seen him.
You've seen him before. But this looks great. It really does. It basically seems to revolve around some satanic activity at a late night talk show, right?
Yes.
Am I wrong?
Yes. No, you're not wrong at all. You are absolutely correct. Yeah, it's an Aussie film. I don't know if you've ever seen 100 Bloody Acres, but it was a blast. It really was a blast. These are some directors to look forward to. That's for sure.
Oh, this looks great. This is also now officially high on the list.
Yeah. Did you read the synopsis?
Did I read the synopsis? I don't think I did, Doc. I don't see a synopsis where I'm at. Oh, yeah, yes, I see it. I got it. Here it is. A live television broadcast in 1977 goes horribly wrong, unleashing evil into the nation's living rooms. You know what? That sounds like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Oh wow. Don't get us started. But this film, like Long Legs, has skyrocketed toward the top of my must-see of 2024 films. I am super excited about this.
It looks good. The trailer is fantastic.
All right. Well, let's get to the big news. The big news of the week, Dave. And there's a lot of trailers. We're not even going to talk about all the trailers. We're just going to talk about. I mean, I can't even say we're just going to talk about genre films because all of them were genre films, but we're going to talk about a select few. And we're going to start off with the one I think, Dave, everyone was anticipating this. It's not necessarily a horror film. It's a superhero film, but
it's a Marvel movie.
We still got to mention it. Deadpool 3 has been on everybody's radar. It's the only Marvel movie coming out this year. Marvel has a lot to kind of bounce back from. Their stock has dwindled a little bit, and stock in films, not stock in the stock market, has dwindled just a slight bit, maybe oversaturation. So this is the only one. And they released a trailer during the Super Bowl and then the full trailer online. And we also got, not only did we get the trailer, but we got the title. So the title is Deadpool and Wolverine, and that is probably one of the greatest posters ever. It's so good. It's so good. Deadpool. So this trailer had everything I was looking forward to. It had great comedic things from Ryan Reynolds. It had great shots of Deadpool doing Deadpool things. It had a number of little cameo snippets that we should expect from Deadpool, all from the other Deadpool films. A little bit of a hint from the villain, if you know anything about that, with the bald head and the ears. And then at the end, we get
the Shadow.
We get the Shadow. We get the Shadow. Yes. Yes. Now I wanted to see all of them, but hey, now I'm anticipating the real trailer. This was fantastic, Dave. I know you're not a hero.
I'm not a huge superhero fan, but you have converted me into that. I enjoy them now, and I thought it was kind of cool how they're tying it into the whole kind of Avengers universe. You see the little snippets of Captain America and the Hulk in the things, and Ryan Reynolds is great as this character. I mean, just as the quick, the writing on this is fantastic. Just even in the trailer, the little quick one-liners, and Ryan Reynolds is so good at delivering them. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people are really excited to see Wolverine back kind of in his more comic, because the last movie he was in was that Logan. It was kind of more of it was more of a downtrodden, downbeat Wolverine is old and dying kind of thing. And here we're going to see him back in his Wolverine-ness.
Oh, yes. Well, in the trailer, for those who love the comics and have a sharp eye, there is a hint of Patch, which is one version of Wolverine out there, where he was where he wore the white outfit and had a patch over his eye. That's why they called him Patch. But he was kind of hiding out. Really, I don't know. I always thought it was silly, but a lot of people are big fans of that. So there's a little bit of that. You see him at a card table, but you only see the back. But anyway,
okay, yeah, that's something that I did not catch. So
yeah, no, I wouldn't expect you to. But this is one of many films that got the trailers, and the next one. Okay, this one also is a stretch.
Did you mention the date on that one? July 26th? I'm not sure you did.
July 26th.
Okay, next.
The next one it's a little bit of a stretch for being a horror movie, but it does have witches, it does have flying monkeys, and a wizard. Yes, Wicked finally got a trailer for this. I'm dying to see this, but it's not really horror, but we're going to cover it.
yeah, absolutely, and it kind of is. I mean, a lot of us of a certain age, one of our first memories of being scared was watching The Wizard of Oz. So
the flying monkeys were freaking out,
and trees, and there's certainly a tie-in. And what we see in this trailer with of the wizard, I mean, it's pretty frightening looking. The big giant head, and it looks good. And the play, have you ever seen the play, Doc?
I have not seen the play.
Play's amazing. The music is amazing. It's iconic at this point. I was concerned when I heard the casting on this initially, but now that we've seen the trailer, it looked and sounded great.
It makes sense. Of course, Jeff Goldblum is the wizard.
Yeah, I seen him. I seen him on there.
That.
I did catch that. Yeah, I seen him there.
So the trailer, one of the interesting things the trailer doesn't do is it doesn't tell you straight up it's a musical. Even though you hear some musical things in it, it doesn't tell you it's a musical, and it doesn't tell you it's part one of two parts.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't tell you that it's two parts, which is because the second part don't come out to the following year.
Right.
Which is just not right.
Which I found interesting. I guess now's not the time to do that. You do that with the full trailer that'll come out, sometime between now and November. That will be the time to do it. It's too much for all this other stuff, right? But I was surprised to see Ruby Slippers and Toto and some of the other characters. I did not know they had anything.
Yeah, they're all kind of there. I mean, basically at the heart, it's just the tale of two sisters, and what happens to them, and I really don't know how they're going to make it into two. I believe both movies are almost 2 hours apiece, if I'm remembering correctly. So I can't really imagine how they're going to stretch that out. It almost might be too much. But I don't know. We got to see what they come up with, I guess.
We'll find out. We'll find out Thanksgiving, November 27th is when that is coming.
Should be a biggie. It should be a big box office.
Oh, it should be huge. Here's one that I would hope to be huge. It remains to be seen, but it's also one of my favorite franchises. And that's the Planet of the Apes franchise, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We've seen a number of trailers, but we got yet another snippet of it. There's the poster. I guess it's focusing on the antagonist, right?
Yes.
Like a guy that's ready to conquer the world. The movie takes place 300 years in the future from the last Planet of the Apes movie. But this guy just looks okay. So first things first, the CGI in this look for a trailer, which was usually we complain about it, looks spot on, looks brilliant. The apes just come to life. The voices are fantastic. It has that original Planet of the Apes feel. It looks like we're building up to Charlton Heston arriving. Are we going to get Taylor at the end of this movie? Oh my God, wouldn't that be awesome?
I mean, I guess you could, huh?
Well, it looks that way. It's leading up to it.
It sure does. I'm not quite sure how they'd put that off, but in this digital age, anything is possible.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Charlton Heston would be in it. That would be silly, but we definitely get a Taylor character, landing in the Forbidden Zone. Excuse me. But because in the first three movies, on the TV screens and everything else, they're talking about a space, a shuttle that went off into space. And got lost. So they put the seeds of it in the first three movies. Will they pay it off? I don't know.
I think they have to. I think they have to. Doc.
They might. It might. High on my list. High on my list.
Yeah, you've been a big fan of all these movies, so that makes sense.
Yeah, sadly. All right, the next one up is another franchise lately that's been good. We've gotten 2 movies, Quiet Place and Quiet Place 2. We're getting a Quiet Place Day 1, which takes us back to, well, the title says it. Day
I was
One.
going to say, pretty self-explanatory there.
We've had a trailer before. This is our second one, and it gives a little bit more away as far as characters and I guess setup and storyline. What did you think? What did you think? Because we got a full trailer and then we got the game spot.
Yeah, I love the disaster movie feel to this. I mean, it looks like it's going to be balls out. We're actually going to see Day 1. We're going to see the invasion, which I think is awesome. I love it. There's a great cast with this. The limited special effects that we've seen in the trailer look great. I would say they're like Armageddon quality. With the things blowing up and all that good stuff. I mean, there's kind of 2 different schools, right? You get into the Roland Emmerich stuff, which just looks too fake. It looks so good it can't be real. Mm-hmm. And then you get the stuff what I call Armageddon stuff, which actually looks like they actually filmed something that was happening. And this had that feel to me for it. So I'm all in for this, and we get to see some of the creatures. They look good. I mean, we already kind of know what they look like, but we're going to be seeing lots and lots more of them, I think, in this one.
All right, and yes, I think so. And the aliens look great. The shot of it coming through the skylight,
through the skylight, very good,
perfect. The last one is probably getting the most buzz outside of the Deadpool and Wolverine. That's getting the most buzz. But next, surprisingly, I think we talked about this before the show, is Twisters. Twisters. We finally got a look at Twisters with a trailer. I think what's making this work so well is it just feels like the original. It feels like an extension of the real. It feels new, but yet it feels like it belongs. And I am just so surprised by that.
Yeah, they kind of kept the color scheme that Jan de Bont had. I mean, you know what I mean? It looks a lot the same. This is going to have nothing to do with the original Twister, from what I understand. No characters. They're not like this. Not like the daughter of the Helen Hunt character or anything like that. We do see the only thing we see that looks the same, other than the tornadoes, is we do see Dorothy. The thing with the balls.
And that got me thinking there might be a little bit more to it than.
Yeah, but everything I searched up, read, everything else, there's no connection. It might just be that kind of thing where they're like, hey, 30 years ago, these people were onto something. Let's try it. And that'll be all it is. But it looks to be great fun.
Yeah, because none of the we don't know any of the characters' names. If you look at IMDb, none of the characters' names are revealed, just the actors' names. You got Glenn Powell as the lead there. He's got a commanding presence in this trailer. And you've got Daisy Edgar Jones co-starring, and she's holding it up. Kieran Shipka is supposed to be in the film. I don't know if I saw her in the trailer.
I don't remember seeing her.
And then Anthony Ramos is in it, as he's in I think he's the guy in the background. Well, in the background of the shot of the trailer. I don't have a shot up to give you, so I don't have it. But Sasha Lane is in it. Just a big cast of people, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. It just looks like it's going to be really good, and I'm surprised to say that.
It looks to be a ton of fun, but it's modern because the Glenn Powell character is like a YouTube storm chaser.
He's an influencer. He's an influencer as well.
Influencer. So I mean, they definitely brought it into today's. The girl, I don't know if it's just happen chance or are they doing it, but she resembles Helen Hunt a lot, especially in the scenes where she's hanging on to things for her dear life. Like a couple times, I'm like, is that Helen Hunt? Is that her? Is she there? But they've definitely gone out of their way to make this look and feel like the original.
They really have. Okay. Well, what do you? I mean, it's coming out July 19th. So
I'll be there.
Won't be too much on. All right, we're gonna. That's well. There's a couple more trailers. You got Fall Guy and Despicable Me 4, but we're not going to go into those too much. Although Fall Guy looked great. And I'm over all the minions. But we're gonna try a news segment now, because there's a lot of little news that we could talk about, but we really don't have much to say about. But yet it'd be great to just kind of share with you. For now, we're calling it rapid fire, and we're going to jump through these. We're just basically going to give you a hint of new movies that have been announced or casting that's been announced. And hopefully this won't take too long. And let us know in the comments down below if you like this new edition. Let us know what trailer you like the most of the ones we talked about. And of course, hit the like, subscribe, share with a friend button. Each of those clicks are free and easy to do, and they will help us find more fans just like you.
Do it.
All right, Dave, hit it up. You start us off.
All right. First up, we got Holly coming to TV. Holly, who's Holly, you say? That would be Stephen King's Holly. Of course, the book came out last fall. Holly Gibney is a recurring character in quite a few of his books. She first appeared in Mr. Mercedes. She's been in a short story. She was in The Outsider. And of course, and now the standalone book called Holly. It's getting a TV adaptation. We don't know where it's going to go, where it's going to land, who's a part of it. But I'm hoping they bring back the lady who played Holly in the Mr. Mercedes TV series, because she is Holly Gibney. She just is.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
She has to do it. It doesn't sound very horror-ish when you read the synopsis. But it actually is a pretty horrifying tale what happens. But I don't want to give anything away. But it revolves highly around COVID-19 and people's fear of being around other people and the isolation and all that stuff. It was a great read. I think it'll make a great, whatever it's a movie or if it's a series, what they end up doing with it. But they have to bring back the actress who played her in Mr. Mercedes.
Yeah, it's just great that this recurring character is getting a series. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
Of course, we'll bring more news as it comes. Are you a fan of Game of Thrones? If you are, you're probably a fan of Sophie Turner and Kit Harington as well, who played brother and sister on that show. They are now set to star in a film from writer-director Natasha Kermani, who did the film Lucky and a segment of VHS 85. It's called The Dreadful, and it'll be shooting soon. The synopsis says the film, set against the backdrop of the War of the Roses, follows Anne Turner and her mother-in-law Morwen, who live a solitary, harsh life in the outskirts of society. But when a man, Harrington, from their past returns, he will set off a sequence of events that become the turning point for Anne.
Okay.
Somewhere in there is the Dreadful.
Does it say where that's going to be coming to us from? It doesn't, does it?
Nope. That's all the news we have.
That's all I got.
Bring more news to us as soon as we know it.
All right. Next up, we have a new one starring Melissa Barrera, which, of course, we should know from the last two Scream movies and from Abigail. This is called
vampire film. Yes.
Yes. This is Your Monster. She's signed on, and they're shopping this thing around. Carolyn Lindy will direct. She also wrote. Synopsis: after her life falls apart, soft-spoken actress Laura Franco, played by Barrera, finds her voice again when she meets a terrifying yet weirdly charming monster living in her closet.
Yes, I suspect it's going to be a horror comedy.
I would have to say that's exactly where this is heading.
Another film coming your way. It's coming VOD March 8th on VOD from Quiver Distributing, is a film called Night Shift. It's directed by Paul and Bed China. The cast includes Phoebe Tonkin, who's from Boy Swallows Universe, Lamorne Morris from Fargo recently, and New Girl. Yes, and Madison Hugh. The synopsis: Night Shift tells the story of a young woman, Gwen Taylor, played by Tonkin, who, while working on her first night shift at a remote hotel, begins to suspect she is being followed by a dangerous character from her past. As the night progresses, Gwen's situation spirals further when she starts to realize that the motel might also be haunted.
That's just a bad night right there. You got a stalker in a haunted house.
Yep. Night Shift. Yes, the trailer looks pretty sweet, and we'll be talking about it in March. So make sure you head back to Gruesome Magazine then to find out what we thought of it. What's next?
Next, we have Doug Jones, Dee Wallace, and Chrissy Fox teaming up for something called If It Bleeds. That was also the name of a Stephen King book.
It was. I was seeing that.
Upcoming indie horror film from director Matthew Hirsch has added Catherine Cochran, Justin Miles, Doug Jones, Dee Wallace, and Chrissy Fox to its cast. In If It Bleeds, genre actor Cochran, Terrifier returned to Newcomb High as young and ambitious news reporter Diane Winters and her cameraman Simon, played by Miles, as they uncover a mysterious series of gruesome murders that unfold throughout the course of a chaotic and violent day. As events unfold, the duo becomes players in a sinister situation, even more menacing than either of them could have imagined. That actually sounds really freaking good.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. And anything with Dee Wallace and Doug Jones has got my attention.
Yes, and of course, Catherine Cochran.
I'm sorry, I slaughtered that up. I couldn't get that out of my mouth.
She was in Terrifier. She's the one that. Let's see. She was two minds doesn't quite work. She's putting out. We'll just keep it like that. All right,
that's her.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Up next, are you a fan, sir, of The Terror, a series of has 2 seasons on AMC?
Yeah, I loved the first season, the one with the guys in the boat shipwrecked in the ice. That was fantastic. Yes. Second one with the Japanese internment camp, I had a little trouble with, but it was still beautifully done.
Right. And that was 5 years ago, 2019, when the second season came out. So now we received news that The Terror has gotten a third outing at AMC, this time called Devil in Silver. And it's based on the same novel from Victor LaValle and expected to debut in 2025. To me, this is good because I thought it was one of the more mature, frightening at its core. Not necessarily, it just had these frightening elements that really got you going.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely more of an artistic take on horror, for sure. But they're very, very well done.
Yes. All right. And what is our final article?
Our final thing is something called Together. Together. Writer-director Michael Shanks are reuniting Dave Franco and Alison Brie.
A real life couple. Real
life. They actually know each other. Upcoming horror film Together. We have really very, very little information. This is literally all we know. Together, we'll explore the horror of codependency told in a unique way.
All the additional details are kept under wraps. Yes, that's one of those wonderful. But Alison Brie starred in Dave Franco's film. What was it called? I forgot what the film's called. But I don't remember Dave Franco. I know The Rental.
Oh, okay. Yes. You're right. Yep, I remember now.
But there you go. That is our news of the week. The segment being
that was a lot.
Rapid Fire. It was a lot. It was a mouthful. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think of adding that to the mix. This week might not have been the best week to try it, because it made our segment a little bit longer than usual. But we thank you for sticking around. Please leave us some feedback comments in the comments down below. Dave, thank you for joining me. As always, this was so much fun.
It always is. High point of my week, Doc.
Nice. I like it. All right. With that, let's say good night.
Good night.
Good night.